fun part of creating your cover art. So I will walk you through some examples. I do design cover art, so that's something that I have fun putting together myself. So I'll show you a few clients that I've created cover art for and really the mindset behind that. So here is Matt's cover art, and I'll also show you a walkthrough of how we're using this cover art to create teaser graphics. But really what this started as was a picture of Matt with a black background. So it was super easy to just crop out the background and place him on a solid black background here, because I really thought that was like a vibe. So when it comes to cover art, what I recommend that you do first, if you haven't already, is go through the Apple or Spotify, wherever you want to go, in your category and just start to see what people are doing for cover art there and what catches your attention and what feels like the vibe and the branding that matches you and your show. Okay. And then what I would do is start to screenshot those and almost create like a mood board for what your podcast cover art could and should look like. That's a really good place to start. So I already kind of know like the vibe that I like, which is always like the person's face really close and then big, easy to read letters that look super professional and on brand. So for Matt, yeah, that's what we rolled with. And I've got his like branding and his colors and everything like that here. So it made it super easy to just know the direction that we were going. I really like doing a type of, like border. I always think that that looks pretty cool, especially on the feed on Apple. So I added this border here really simply. And then let me see. Why is it doing that? Oh, this is a different border. Okay. I was like, why is it covering him? So I actually cropped him out and then pulled him in front of the background, which I thought was pretty cool. It just adds like a little bit. I know it's like a nuanced little teeny tiny detail, but those details go a long way. And then I did work with one of his graphic designers, and she gave me this little element here that had his branding fonts because I didn't have access to those yet. So she gave me this portion to add, but everything else I created in this cover art here. Got his little logo down here, and I just think it looks really professional. The cool thing that you can try is like zoom out a lot and see what it would look like on the feed. So I will say like this screen that I'm using here is like pixelated a little bit. It's not like the best quality. So I know that on my other screen, this will look good. So you can always test it that way to see it small. But yeah, so that was kind of the mindset behind this one. I will show you mine currently is this. I say currently because I like to change it a lot. I did the same thing with me. Actually cropped me out of this photo and then I duplicated it and I put me on top of the other photo. And the reason that I did that is because I wanted to be pulled out so that this could go behind me and look really cool. So once again, like that little tiny detail, but I think it just looks super epic. So that's what I decided to do there. And let's see, added a border once again, and then some brand colors, fonts, and then I started to add in little things like this, like light flares, because I thought that looked pretty sick in the background as well. So you'll kind of get a feel for my style after looking at a few of these, but keyword is like on brand, looks good when it's like zoomed out. You can still see like the text and all the things there. So there's my cover art. Who knows? I might change it soon. I have fun like changing cover arts all the time. So um, here's another example. This is Amar. This was a collab as well between me and one other person. And this is actually like a really zoomed in image because I didn't have his cover art saved. So if it's not as great a quality, that's why. But Amar was actually leaning up against a building in this photo. So the other designer, what she did was actually pulled him from that design and then photoshopped him onto this road, which I thought was pretty cool. And so the two of us collaborated to just make sure that this was on brand and looking really cool for the cover art. So the Leader's Life podcast with Amar. Okay. Breeze, I created by myself. Once again, you'll see that we have a slight border here. Bree was actually on like a white wall, I think up against a table. So what I did was actually cropped Bree out of that photo. Okay, see, it's just her. So I removed her from her background and I added her into like a new scene that looked more on brand. It looked more professional, and I just really liked that. So I put white behind these letters to make the text really pop. And then we've got with Bree there. And this one passes the test of when you make it smaller, it still looks really cool. So that is her cover art. And then I've got one more to show you, which is Natalie. Natalie's photo looked like this. I mean, she had a professional photo shoot done. So it was it was really incredible to be able to work with this. So I was able to pull her branding information, and I created the Mind Body Freedom podcast with Natalie Spaeth. Was able to create a frame and kind of pull in her name that way. That way it wasn't just floating there. And we added a bit of, like shading in the background here to make the words really pop. But this one definitely, when zoomed out, you can see Mind Body Freedom, and she looks like a freaking angel. So those are just a few ideas of what you can do for your cover art. You can do the same thing that you would do for any other graphics here. You could look for even podcast cover art here. And I'm not sure I really like any of those, to be honest. Okay, this is kind of cool. With like the guy's face. Let me just pull this up here. This is kind of cool. Okay, so you could remove your face. Oh, look at that. This is sick. I would totally do this. Oh my gosh, I want to use this one. I love this. Okay, someone's going to snag it now that I have a video about it. But you can go over here and just see, like, is there anything that's already created that you like? And then how can you make it your own, right? Super cool. Like, this could also be a cool one for Matt, right? Like, this could be a really cool one for him. Let me just show you how I would make this ours. I would grab this. Okay, I would edit the photo. I would remove the background. Make it big, and then I would put it in the back, which I don't know why now the letters aren't looking like cool like that. Super weird. So now we got to go and we got to figure out why was his doing that. It's like, is there anything on animation turned on? Positioning, where are we? Like, why is it doing that? You know what I mean? Where's the position? This could be it. Okay, so we would need to figure out like why effects is hollow. Okay. That's probably why. So let's see if we can fix that now and do it for Matt. Edit photo, background remover. Do this one, effects, hollow. It still is. That's so strange. So strange. I don't know why it's not working. Okay. Well, I don't have to like totally figure this out with you guys, because if you want to use this one, just figure out why it's not working. You can always reach out to support on Canva if you need help. But I think this vibe is really cool. Like, look at that. I think that looks so sick. Yeah. Okay. So this is a cool idea if you can figure out what to do with the hollow aspect there. I'm not gonna like spend your guys' time trying to figure that out, but you can scroll through the feed. Just look for a vibe that you like, make it yours, make it on brand, and kind of roll from there. Feel free to share it with us in the group as well as you start to come up with things. But I would start with your cover art, because then from there you can use your cover art in your launch graphics, in your teaser graphics, all the things like that as you're creating. So have fun with this. You can always hire someone on Fiverr if you would like to, not do this yourself, or you could talk to us if you're interested in having me help you with this. No worries at all. Just let us know. But have fun. Have fun. And then let's see too, one more thing. Make sure your size, if you're doing it in Canva, is 1400 by 1400, because that is what is needed for the podcast hosts. So enjoy. Have fun with this.